Today, I'm going to tell you my exact plan to make millions this bull run. Nobody on YouTube has made a video of this style before, and if you watch this video to the end, you have no excuse to have not made a load of money this cycle. I'm going to tell you everything ranging from the exact system I'm going to be using to the points in the cycle where you can expect to make a lot of money. Now, this video took me a long time to create, so I guarantee it's going to be worth your time. But before we start, please remember that nothing here is financial advice, and I am not a financial advisor. Let's cut the bullshit. All we're trying to do in crypto is make a lot of money. So what I did for you was I boiled down the 7 main principles that matter the most when it comes to making a lot of money in crypto. And let me show you recently an example of a call I made with the Trump token and see how this framework works in action. Stick with me here because once you apply these principles to your own investments, you instantly differentiate yourself from regular YouTube retail NPCs that are in this market right now. So firstly, with the Trump token, I identified the market conditions, starting with broader cycle context. If I had thought that the cycle had topped, I would not have been making a video on Trump. The next thing I do is I look at the altcoin index and see which way it's trending. The two main indicators you need on your chart are the 200 EMA on the daily and the weekly 25 EMA. These are two very powerful trends that just seem to work. And when I made that video on Trump, I assessed that it's still in a downtrend and I added that into my analysis. I also looked at the context of the market. How had people been conditioned to think during 6 months of the prices going down only? How many people had left the market? These are all important questions to consider when you buy any altcoin at any time in the cycle. Overall, my analysis came to the conclusion that Trump was an excellent opportunity, but it required a gradual accumulation. And what I've just shown you here is what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the cycle. Every single time I buy an altcoin, I'm going to go through this process of identifying the market conditions. Now, when I think there is a video to be made giving an update on market conditions, I'm going to do it for you. So subscribe now for that, because really it's the most important principle out of the 7. Without this, you can't do anything. It's like trying to reach a destination without a map. And I promise I will not make useless spam videos to farm views from you. I only upload when I have something meaningful to say. Now, once we've identified that, okay, this is an excellent accumulation phase in the market, the next step is to ask, what are the narratives that are going to perform the best in the coming months? I like to start by thinking of all the future catalysts that are coming ahead and narrowing it down from there. I also like to think of existing problems within crypto that have a lot of mind share, because betting on them can be really profitable, like the ETH killer trade of 2021. So the two ways to look for narratives: the first is look for future world events, for example, the Nvidia stuff, elections, or you can pay attention and react fast to new shock headlines that emerge. Like last cycle, we had Facebook rebrand to Meta, which exploded all the gaming tokens. Or you can look for existing problems within crypto and look for their solutions. Like last cycle, Ethereum gas fees was a major issue, and that set up the narrative for Ethereum killers and low gas fee chains. In the case of Trump, it was really easy. Even in the UK, everyone talks about the US elections. That's how much of a high attention event it is. So for me, it was a no-brainer that this would be the number one narrative as we approach this date. Now, once we find the right narrative, the second stage is finding the best coin within that narrative, which is the most difficult part, and a lot of people get it wrong. Tell me if you agree or not, but for me, the best coin in the narrative isn't the one that has the potential to pull 100x, but can also go to zero instantly. It's the one that I can put a decent chunk of my portfolio into and make good gains with the least amount of risk. And at the end of the day, I still want to be able to sleep at night. In the case of Trump, I looked at literally every Politify token, and because of how shit the rest of them were, I knew that Trump was the best token for this narrative. And you know, in previous bull runs, you could get away with not picking the best token in the narrative. But with this one, if you pick the wrong ones, you are in trouble. That's how important asset selection is in this bull run. The third principle I'm going to use to make a lot of money this bull run is the principle of getting a good entry. You already know getting a good entry is crucial because obviously, first of all, it makes you more money. But second of all, When you're buying close to the bottom, you don't have to sit in an underwater position for long, which psychologically drains you. So the question is, how do we get a good entry? And I think the ultimate way to gain a good entry in crypto is as follows. You need these 4 conditions to be met. Ask the people in premium how accurately I've been buying the bottoms. This formula really does work. Now listen to this next part carefully. The highest quality signal you can get to enter in crypto is when you have a massive liquidation event onto a huge macro level support on the chart. That's exactly what we got on August 5th when Bitcoin crashed to 48k. That's what I used to start the 20k portfolio challenge, where I spent 50% of it to buy Trump at $2.75. More on that later. But during the real alt season, you get so many of these leverage wipeouts, which is going to be an amazing opportunity for you to compound money. So this is a really important skill to learn. The 4th principle is sizing, and at this point in the video, I'm going to take things up a notch a bit, so stick with me here. This principle is what's going to determine whether you make a lot of money or you make a little money. For example, let's say you have a 50k portfolio and you put in 2k to Trump at $3 and it goes 10x. You make 20k, but if you put in, say, 6k and it goes 10x, you have 60k. And then you have one more opportunity to turn that 60k into 240k with just another 4x. And then you can begin to see, okay, the path to financial freedom is becoming clear because you can compound a lot of money. And that's not even taking into account the other 90% of your portfolio that will be going up as well. There's no point nailing the market conditions, nailing the narrative, and getting the right coin, and also getting a good entry if you don't believe in yourself enough to size accordingly. Now, am I saying go and put 12% of your portfolio to Trump? Absolutely not. I'm trying to get you to understand how 2 calculated bets where you can really take into account all the risk factors and having it pay off is what really gets you closer to financial freedom. I've been discussing this with some smart people regarding Trump, and even for me, with these risks, it's difficult for me to stomach greater than 5% in something like this. So sizing really is completely personal to you, and I can't tell you how much money to put in each coin. I also don't want you to lose any money, which is rare because most influencers don't see you as people with jobs and families to take care of. They just see you as numbers on a screen. So yes, sizing is crucial, and how much you size in on each coin depends on how good you are at assessing risk, how lucky you are, and also how mentally strong you are in terms of handling downside. Now we have the final boss of the system, the principle of taking profit. Taking profit really is an art form, and considering how important it is, it's crazy to me that people barely pay attention to it. And that's why during this period of the market, I've been mastering and building my own personal exit strategy, not only for specific narratives, but also for the broader cycle as well. I'm creating a full, dedicated multi-part course on it. It's not going to be a separate fee. If you're in premium, you will get full access to it. But the general formula for taking profits on narrative plays is this. The reason this formula works is because you have 2 powerful factors of confluence. I've already shown you in previous videos how narratives front run the actual narrative day by around 2 to 4 weeks. And during that period, you get massive daily green candles. Like if you look at the Trump token history, you can already see how during the last top, the daily candles were insane, like 50%, 40%, 80% consecutively. And selling into those candles is a great idea because the people you are selling to are weak hands. They are emotional FOMO traders who will eventually dump the price all the way back down. So you almost need to be selling the instant you start to see this stuff. I'm going to make a full exit strategy video on this token, so subscribe if you want to see that, because most YouTubers and influencers have no idea how to play a token like this. But this chart should give you the picture of it. We have the Goldilocks window during early October, and the instant we see huge daily green candles in the Goldilocks window is when you start DCing out. Okay, for the 6th principle, I'm going to be using to make a lot of money this bull run, and you should be doing this too, is networking correctly. Right now, as you watch this video, you are networking with me, because as you've seen all of this stuff, in the background, your brain has been generating ideas on how to make money, whether you've realized it or not. The people you watch on YouTube, the people you follow on X, they're all part of your personal network, and they can really make you or break you this cycle. I don't know if you guys saw the video recently regarding other big YouTubers. People have asked me for my opinion, and to be honest, I couldn't believe it when I saw it because I didn't expect it from them. And I think the lesson from that is it shows that trust is the most important factor you can have between you and the people you allow to influence your mind in crypto. If you can't trust someone 100%, they're not worth keeping in your circle. Look at how few people I follow on X, and I also watch very few crypto YouTubers. And for you, it needs to be that way as well. There's already an information overload in this world with social media. So what's the point making it harder for yourself? The final part of the system, and nobody likes to hear this, is journaling and observing daily what's happening in the markets. You've heard people say that experience is the number one most important thing in crypto. But most people in this market are not actually building real experience, because what they're doing is they're passively consuming and looking at the market without taking actual time to think and write down the things they're seeing in the market. Because to me, that's how you build real experience that you can draw upon. So this is essentially my entire system, and I've shown you a live example with Trump of how it's applied. Once the election narrative is done, I'll be looking for a new narrative to repeat this process. For example, if Trump gives me a 6x, I'll rotate that 6x into another narrative to get a 5x, and I get a full 30x. If I can't find another 5x immediately, I'll simply park my gains in Bitcoin or Ethereum and wait for the next opportunity, if I think Bitcoin and ETH still have juice left in the cycle. I want to make it clear that this system does not apply to my entire portfolio. I keep a portion of my portfolio set in stone, which is Ethereum, Solana, and some Casper. And I don't plan on selling that until I think this broader cycle has really topped. These coins over here can be personal to you. Maybe you have conviction in a low cap play for the entire cycle. But for the rest of my portfolio, unless I find something super high conviction I can hold across the cycle, I'm going to be using this system. And I know for most of you that Ethereum and Solana gains won't cut it for your dreams. In that case, you'd probably have to allocate a higher percentage of your portfolio, something that lets you take advantage of narratives and also opens the door to compounding opportunities intra-cycle. The other option you have is find some really exceptional coins that can go into this bracket for the cycle holds. I think that's much harder to do than the narrative plays option, and it's better to stick with the easier and more simple route. But again, this isn't easy either, and that's the reality of the situation. If you want to do better than most people in life, you have to do things that they won't do and think better than them. Now let's put all of this to one side, because I've covered my system for playing narratives in crypto, which is going to be a big component for all of us in making money this cycle. Let's now switch to the broader cycle picture. A lot of crypto influencers don't talk about this, but this is really the way to financial freedom through crypto. When I think about what are the biggest opportunities to make money in crypto, it comes down to these three things. These are the three critical moments in a cycle where you can't afford to make big errors or miss out on the opportunity. The first one is the final alt season. I've already said a while ago that during this period of the market, get some time off work. If you can't, just make up some bullshit, because you can't afford to not give 100% of your focus and attention during this phase of the market, because there's going to be so much money to be made. You also have to be able to get out at an optimal time. This is where most people fumble their opportunity to compound wealth cycle upon cycle. I'm not saying you have to sell the top. I'm saying at the minimum, you have to get out once this trend reverses. The exit strategy I share in Premium will have a trend loss identification system, and I think that is the most effective way of exiting a cycle. The next thing that's going to really allow you to compound wealth and set you up for financial freedom is reaccumulation during the next bear market. Too many people are focused on becoming millionaires within one cycle. If you have 20k, make 150k this cycle, then focus on hitting 800k, 900k the next one. And I'm going to be real with you, this is where most of my money came from. I'm not an insane day trader. Why do you think I don't shill you exchanges telling you to trade so I can get referral link money. It's because it's not true to who I am, and it's not even what I do in crypto. I made most of my money by being early to last cycle, taking profits at a good time last cycle, and also reaccumulating in 2023. Was it easy? It wasn't, especially throughout 2023. It was actually really depressing, but I got through it and it paid off in 2024. The conditions that we got until recently reminded me of this sort of period in 2023. In that case, I expect all of this to pay off for you and your portfolio in 2025. You just have to get through it and stick around. So to sum up the entire playbook, I'm going to use this system to make money on narratives, and then I'm going to rotate the narrative profits into cycle holds. And then finally, I'm going to think on a multi-cycle time frame and aim to compound my wealth. This here is such alpha, and it really is an amazing plan because most people can't think on such a long-term time frame. And as I said, if you can think different to others, you have an advantage. If you want to know which coins I buy using this system, check out my premium research service. In here, you get access to the new coins I'm buying and selling with live portfolio alerts, and you get access to my exact portfolio. You'd also get access to my full exit course for this cycle, which is worth several thousands really when it's ready. Time is running out to prepare for the next phase of the bull market, and I'm going to raise the prices soon, otherwise premium will get too full. So if you want to get in at the cheapest monthly entry there will ever be, make sure you get in now. If you want to pay via crypto, you can get a 40% discount on the annual subscription of premium by heading over to the Discord and opening a ticket in the crypto payment channel. Thank you for watching this video to the end. My next video will be a full breakdown of the Trump play for October.